خير شو يسوى؟ أخذ عيال زين خدشو. ده شو شوات بال بول شوات شو دل میزی سندان میچدان دامونه حق حد يحكي سو يوخي دعيتم تصدق كروتشي تغيتر شو دويدون عشودو لي شيخات تشمون دي ويد عدو يسردوشون عشودو لي شيخات تشمون دي ويد عدو يسردوشون دور تامشي من بي دور تامشي من وتصل جو قويشتون مخرو مش تقوي تردخوي ايش تعيش دخوي طلع hello hi how you doing you alright كمان تعمل شو عبيك تعمل يا زينش ها مو واحد ما شاء الله حلقصن شيل ولرم شيل مولو كيرا قيق سيدو شيل مولو مارش ولا سيش داستس بارسن داستش دي كده شوف شي تاع شو شوات بلا بات مات دل احساسونش میچ بانا هونس بوغو چو دخم دخی وی بوسو بیشی دعار و ورسو تا بالا بات یا نزنا کاکی تو تاک بشه можна سبحان الله والله واتسا اشتوي دا لهتر دقو زاوي لهتر دا قويش دقو ليل واشتك гар моду нормально гушуйся гар моду Ha dik koşuyor elhamdülillah doktordu. Da. Oy bak bir sürü dağlar öldük. Просто нахам бачу бош saat. Çok bu. قوهين دستسين شوزري دستسي حبال بيناخدون شو مصو خاطر شو نروح بدقون اش قاعديش قلب اس ديل مصطو حجل استيايك دو شيء دو بوتين يمشون بصورش يشون دو غزا صبرل يتاغوچن ديل مصطو شيء دوي بوتين دو غاغوش аришон сер посольство халка ляч дуй поддержк мо не ше бусул бешин субханаллах شوقن أروى موس ويقوقن أروى موس شوقن شوقن بوردات ويقوقن أروى بصو ديشين تعوخلي تعصتو الشعاد المدوي شو تبوي وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته ها هي نسوق وشو داستو فريون هو عبال وبون نحكي اشتادوق بيجي وحاول أدويت يا أدوي ودول حاول داقوي تشاليش تون أفيرت ولق ويدوي ويتصدي الشيم ديك نشلي الواش أقر غودو تشينا أقر جو لزش سودة تشوي إشتون سويزي دوق ويدوي ويصوتوا النخ بات قزادوي إن شاء الله الله شاوتو انت اللي قولي تردقوا حلا Ale mutanti, ti ta wo prova, subhanallah. Ta poi gosh metin buoni shudi. Ya zenş vezri ya zenşin huallar ve aşal elle goy da okon çwa. San de hoy. Hur ja helt joder dos metik bas inşallah kira saat dalot. Tamam way de duşun tamam way düç de duşun kamel de duşun. Tamam dijin aş de daçun vezri. Tamam kurs de daçun. Busul bişuşun er yaktir. O dalet met way dalet bu mah bu merj baq beşi buşun. Dakika miyoş de çulat hiç er yakı way taqir mahka merj baqir bu. Arvay piket yo şun gina akhir du way yo goytuş du goytur dolş du ordina gara wal dawam gardu arvay bayraq yo arvay tent du ametti way lahtash du lahtar dolş du faz illi gladu du ordina arvay dawish wal metti yo ha هر دوي داخل الحمد لله الديل موستر شيطان دون هر باسورد تو حلقه لهش دون دوغ موسى دوغ يدير ديريدي الله دال خيل ويلتان دوي الله دال خيل ويلتان ويدين دول بيرش دك داكيت چين دوي ويدين بيرش دك داكيت بدش دتش دا سايوچ دون وي رزرواتن دغنش شو دك باكيت يجري دك باكيت شتكنوش اچ دون بين بيرش زودري دك باكيت بتاك بين ناخ دك باكيت چيتن بومنش ياچ دون هلك دين دون وي بقي نش كيجي نش بيرش زودري دك باكيت چولاو زچيس كشيشتر هلك دين ادم دك دايت مسوم دك دايت زملا ركيچ دك ياكيت Dagdakit. Dagam dakit dario chubo snagbulari. Dokum subhana ettu chodon. Ma cho zanite bukhoy nagbam da. Efendim kuchauyo dastasa. Может, хочу борборить и что? Хатташ, любой хатташ, жопу дыркой. Гарду койгадык, вот что мы имеем. Неттига соух, шубусул бош. Абдул Малик. Раб Аллаха. Чо говорсен, муаббетini tajim etmeyen. İşte şu harcıyorsun, duysan değil, daluşsun da hız dik olsun. Ya şu masar mok şu olsa da işte da muhabbetler bu koy. مرقية دار شوية مرقية دار صادين أخير تلقي دردشة свободу Амине Герихановой бошиш таляш нукой куда мама обещана куда я Allah кира уже сахат дакды шейхат торжден жвери аш сахун хочешь че чошун рабда дикол чон диквацо да сундело каналдалар сон на хочу за бог доком докдон сапайт бочуманым болша Subhanallah, mutluyum şimdi bu yer. عليه ما يعدو قطق بيواثبوا وقداش شو سبحان الله. وعليكم السلام Макс Франц. وعليكم السلام. Свободу Амине. О, это теперь уже нормально. Del rezgilon Bog, dal dikans biqam boilhon da Allah bu. Amin ya Allah, amin. Allah rez masana aliwa. Allah berkati vel efir bo. Allah iman ya İslam ya nison ya. Bart sa boil boy. Amin ya Allah. Freedom marshu amin. Tak dikushu bo. Amin ya Allah. Dela usoç o zloy duy o der ok duy. Sunderlarsın sadece kanal diye çuvalersin. Çubo şnak bak. Subhanallah. Не, причем отчаиваться, это наша общая беда, дуй, инсан қиеч, хыз дислуш, бодек дүйч, мы там бодек дүйч, дис бяш мубат. Ахтан самой дүйч, хотя бы хастер деш, таали цюк, аш хаала заошун. حالا زیت ما بیت نشون خوزه خیلی خیلی محسوس ولوش تی والله سون دقیقی نو مس تو هر دک ادم تحویش دوش دوی چند دک خوزه ده اوکی دلا خورم دلا تاسون да может быть жаль чё дик да А хутемицу чё адыч худыч больше. Синцани yok mu oldu ya sani yok alır çol dikirde. А при уин сагулуш до молодцы везли хагулуш кушун вайт при уин 50 хрушун ницан. Ашун дабошу и свой 50 хрушун 100 хрушун. Сажим давайте короче короче дай волю твой разогреться давайте. Давайте, да что орешь, давайте. Вот, все, нормально уши ногу задуй, альхамдулилlah. Просто мне надоело, этот произвол надоел. Сунделовый, бодек дюцер, дуэл, хагул дел дуэл, до точка запора, чуа. Пич бат гул белириш, бодек дюцер, дуэл. Вейду бодек дюц, хагул дел. Сундел шейхат таждевой, бодек шун жваплурду, хучун жваплурду, цахуш дегда. Атыр дуэл. Dabor Schützen, dabor. Так. Выдвижение ахает, да, агулер бокош, да. 100 так, 1000 так, но 1000 так, вы кичал дезу, вы, мы, не знаю, вы ху, что царство, но сам должен дуэль, алхамдулилlah. О, уже 8 человек, видите, уже результат. Свободу Амине Гериханове. İşte şu Muhammed Tuğ Hacı boş bu vezli. Vallahi дохком пердышу канды. Завтра по-другому будет. Дохку пердышун, давайте везли. Цан қияти твой. Цан бер дерзи твой. Соки чук. De vallahi soki çok için de dokçuş beter ser dabe hakkı. Hok emi efiri nazwani yazık sod avigiş. Şey varha de dokçuş rumini yalar duy. Şey varha de dokçuş gasti dakır diyor. Dayeti trobusu biş. Şey varha de dokçuş deter ha. Şu hıl şey varha de naltılmaya. Ha? No problem pas. Ana bu qiyirluş duy kuda. Dağıya sobuzu bir bok var, kıyumatı bu. Vara den altı yatar, duydun. Bek boş, izvaşıl, busul bir, dağıya bu var. Kıyumatı bu. Komak meş bak bu. Teröristi aydıl tadak bu, tuntir. Marşo yez bu, ya ojal yez bu. Del nika, bakvan ya. Kıyumatı bu. Orş uyur bişin uykur bu ha. Orş aydıl bu kuca iş değil orşun. Sika koyuk aydıl kuca duy. Ey, matsaqiyat şuvayda qadik matsaqa şundu qomşdu. Dokum da dokum boş da soy. Ve ta dokum da bo. No şun saqa bo ve gadol hal saqa şun. Saqa. Ve masarna qoşdalar ve qeçki pırxırdır. Положение qeçki pırxırır. Saqa ve. Deyil da. Elhamdülillah dok elhamdülillah. Elhamdülillah. Her uşun şu busul boş. Her duay dağır her du ha. Her du kalsadet dağır. Business da yol, de bu mason da yol. Her du karvay dağır. Da goyç dokşan. Ya реальный жизнь Дарюшин. Нагоешь дукой, любоем да, год, любоем да, до. Мы готовы, свой кич дубовый. Дарец, маржоя ожил. Амина Гериханова, дарец богвый, и бог урдуй. Харцу, сатье бог. We want justice, that's all. Богвый езуэн. Харцу ансан, дали отцел трубусу, биш дарец бог. И дел моста гасты, пачалки, байрак даяк бог. И шенде докчу яттырк, и посольство кузар даяк бог. И хил хак долж яц бог. Террористический государство юбог. Российские Федерации. Yes! Russia is a terrorist state. Stop Russian terror, бог, way. Ты уматься, бог. Ве, бог, сейчас ве нахдала. Сейчас ящик открыто, е, бог. Шенде докчушу давайла, бог. Бузул нахца беж, ногчи хамца деш дол. Яма твою. Yuhkayıl, diyayıl diyor. Nohçı kamko. Sisaz deş liyol şol. Kadiro. Şniri şu. Şeyin de dok oil şu boğ şu yok. Şu nahyat boğ. Boğ urdu. هردق أدم دو تسات دال تعيش دو تسقي طور ويدا قاعد وان سخا ويم دعوش دو دعوش دو إنجلس متعدوت غاسق متعدوت نوخشي متعدوت وين خوش متعدوت. Stop Russian terror. That's what we're saying. Russia has killed 300,000 Chechens. Everybody has forgotten about Chechnya. Все забыли Чечню. Masarna yitela nochchichue. Because Chechnya is occupied. Because Russian run government by Kadyrovitz killing everyone who's speaking out the truth. Потому что кадыровский режим Путина уничтожает, убивает всех, кто говорит правду. Но мы будем говорить до тех пор, пока вы нас не убьете. Шейнде до чушу тадагаш. Allah dal qelwelşu. Allah dal sisaz doqilşu. Aş toqaman tihlilinak. Allah dal şeynde daytwelşu. Ha, satüye ha. Ha, satüye ha. Satüye. Satüer وش satüer وش تيشن بيحكي ثاني satüer وش ساتينك تيشن بيحكي دوش دات توقيوم دات سر بقر تعديد دوش دوتو قوي دات تويقع تعوم دولشر قويتا قويتشون قويتور دوشون ويقع دات ساتشون تغن دات سيمعش كابين بيش دق داخيتشين شيلح شبوم نشياش بينش دق باخيت غالع دينك غالع حلق بردك داخيت но худу дагдахитыш давайте будем говорить сейчас про геноцид. Теперь мы будем говорить про геноцид, который устроил. Yes, I'll try to speak in 3 languages because قامت دويتردوه هنا تقيتر да хочешь ладуешь аж будет قيرا сердце болишь они не понимают. هر دوی داده خدا چند چینا دیش راشی اشتون همالی نسون تغا اشتون همیلی نسون تغا اشتون همیلی نسون تا ام تعم سون میلی ناش شی ورا ده دکتش داتش سون چنج میلی ناش دوی سو تونگ ناش سو هلاک ناش الله دال خلوش وات هر ولا رخصتي اي لير دوش ما دوي شون سو هو سو قير وغير تدرش ها عشان ده دوتش ويل شو دو اشتو قير ملوير وات عشان ده دوتش ويل شو صدقي روات اش صدقي روات وما يريات هيتش دعيريو هيتش دعيريو شين ده دوتش شو دغر شو دا دويج ما دوشو اس اوكرانيا شو دا دويج ما دوشو دالو بار وتغاس خشن دي دالوش دوقوي تغاس خشن دوي تردي دالوش دوقوي ها عندها بوت بروكلت روسيا Будьте проклята Россия! Будьте проклят Путин! Путин убийца! Путин террорист! Путин убил 300 тысяч чеченцев! Нет, мы не прощаем! No! We have not forgotten! No, we are not forgiving 300,000 innocent our people, Chechen people's blood! We'll never forget that! We'll never forgive that! Until that terrorist this terrorist embassy must be removed from here. That terrorist flag must be removed. Russia is a terrorist state who killed hundreds of thousands innocent Chechens. Nothing is forgotten. The crime has got no statute of limitations. Преступление не имеет срока давности. 30 лет прошло. Никто не забыл. 30 years passed since you butchering Chechen people. Nothing has forgotten. Could you shut everyone up? No. I am the only one, but I will be speaking. the truth, what you have done to our people. Huh? Aba ittak bi wati adat sidon dokum dat tadush khich qoman abal bi na habal bi habal bi akhat tarjdi wa yjub surdu masto matadu surdu in Chechen language, in Russian language, in every language we will speak the truth. We will speak about the terrorist Putin. Yes, about terrorist state Russia. What they have done in Chechnya, nothing has forgotten. The crime has got no statute of limitations. 300,000 innocent Chechens who were killed by terrorist state Russia. Now they're killing Ukrainians. And we're saying no to Russian terror. There is no place for terrorist Russian state. Твари поганые, Вы вспомните, как вы бомбили нас. You remember how you used to bomb us? I was one of them who was witnessing the ripping apart of the bodies of innocent people when you used to bomb our cities. That is the truth, sisters. Because I'm emotional, because that country used to kill our people. حول تأخذ حول لك تدعي عيتنا شون شين تهدو تدعي شون يما يأخذ حدول تجي بيكتب ياش حدول يعدو على حدول سوكي شوك حدول حدول أخذ واتس وما واتس نيتو من نبيت سبسي نيتو نتربيتي نيتو كيرا دك دوي اش قردير دات تو اش تو قردير دات قردير دات قردير دات مرجوة يا عوج الله بوقوي просто رقمي دوي دهشة شو حير ديوس مدور شو حير ديلي ترى عم دهشة مدور وي شو قمي ياش حدوي الأوكرانية دو حي أوكرانيا دابان أوكرانيا بوشون دابيوش بوشون خدور دوشون في مقجة ليك جياتو بيج تيجي ورو سأدوردو إن شاء الله إيش تشون يو قايتو عزو هدو خدا ويجي واشيل عيد دوار عيد دول فينا دوار عيد دول دريس دون أبدا ويجي تلوش لا هو دي كم دار شيء شوي كم دار شوي держимся إن شاء الله будем держаться до конца إن شاء الله буду куда держаться до отсюда до он تصور واتسر عودي سنوال سمشوي عودي سمشوي ده سويش موات سوى غير الموات سوى غير الموات تصوروا سوى خاند ما قاتشن الله هو يوقفر بلاح Ай, походелам ударе, походелам, шенде до чугар, походел, не походел, походелам удар кузя. Давление, то, короче, нагрузка сон. Ваек, жукашта, штаваек, жваек. Значит, дам هذا قروق دقيقة خذها تقمنا ساسك منا خذها والله هاري حتى وخذي هرشل هرشل لا حبي ساعة صار دقيقة سون الحويات بلني تغرور سقيو ما داسر نتوخ ساعة توخ ساعة لا تشلقوا ايش تون واللتر دوشدو شي خاطر داش ويجي اشتو خاطر دوشه وقام دايتين شو جدوي تنير فيديك هردوش نيوغو يچنا ايش عليه لقطه كده هاي ستخزع البوس ايش عليه شو صاتن ايش شو صاتن واي صاتن قيقول مقشوات بوش تيش او ديكو شو تيش تيش ليش تيش شي ورا دي دوق شو شو داوش مالينا قوي شي ورا دي دوق شو الله ده القيل يوسف وي لندن يعدو غاسقي посольство حلقة مجگي почалقي посольство حلقة دوي دوغايو террористи флагю دوغايو شينده دوغچو ياترگ دوي هريش болчарцани هرگيچ دون كيراتيت قيق شوك تاغوات هرگيچ كيرتي متر دوشوات هندوچو باوش داتsa يا بوزو باوش دات او تاغوالا يش داتsa هرگيچ همك شولا شينده دوچو داتر هر فلاگ ستايتن عشا دوشو قزا انجليا شينين ستياش يارش بيخ مبيلسا بغير $2 تيج اوو يردرشون دوي هر بايرق ستايتن عشا يوشو قزا جزري شونته قوچردوشون شونته قوچردو شو ده تدوردو شي شو تدوغويچ ده تدوردو اوجه دوشو تدوغويچ دوي سوق بچا دوي احمد حجين يا خير بوش بات شو احمد حجين يا باندوس دو امين قال يالر يچو يالر شو بيحبو شو يامت ويا تارخير داتر وين دي حرحل شو يامت خلر باندوس يشوي شولو تم دي ده دوچو شو ده تيل شو بيش بش شو ده خوي Вот это чеченский флаг. Как и раньше, мы сейчас вам опять повторяем. Флаг свободной Чеченской Республики Ичкерия. Вот это вот при Амина. Мы просим свободу Амине Герихановой. Амина Гериханова невиновная женщина, которая задержана в Румынии. Румыния совершает преступление вместе с Россией. Румыния не может передать Амину Гериханову в террористическое государство. Romania sacrifices to a tyrant. Бохва. Ой, it's вуга орер гойчу. Лагойчу. Алло? Хардуай баннер жду. Ю гойturdu. Ца а проблема че балбек хожрушу балбек уй. Сун guardur da sun maça guardoize. Ю дуйца ол цада цаболча элла сүйг маситтему. Ю дуйцу мал. Ю дуйц вай дишин ашдол дел. Ю моца дуйц. Ю моца дуйц вай инси дишин ашдол. Вай qirsh дон. Сухеш гушмон вышен вежри. Лицам дицерен. Ладно. Ки интересно, что дата, тадер сдвой вежри, да. Чур дуал хьетсон. Хажал инса, ой бусул бишек алдерса цаум. Салер мне бусул биш тюнха, Эмилю тюншенха. Тан ой дадалар хач мен долшдуй. Ой, dadelon tera, dalura don. Бусул бишеши силар деш ой далур ду любойчина. Дел маслы буй тера и гасли почалхи. Тера ой далур ду. Дел мугла иншаллах шейн де докчу дайой турюз. Хунда жуй гахкара докум дата. Ой дуа дуй, ой дуа наш дуй, ой докума, ой дуа дуй идуй герз. Vallahi ve duan Allah cevap deli şoş moşi Allah illet bu yok oturmayı söyle gayet başal. Ya Allah ya tiş diş duy. Naluş duk şu adı. خاطر ليش بيجي خاطر جابلور درجون يا ويقام على داوردر просто со лазашкау Sunde salati neres duyar qiatı bakıp lazaş do satatolo Вацело харцо Батарейка дайли шуна. Ладно. Her lozer dayli. Okey. Her lozer dayli. Her de koydar, avsal her de koydar. Acil lan koyçun. Bu da ha koydar. Dörmek bu. I arıyor huyarsa. Sleeping bag. Yo doga wait dörmek bu. دوغا تجيم غيبو يبادي شو ديك بات وكور دوليني على وقت استعلى لقوا ميزر يغيبو بلي ست وجه غيبا بلي تاتوج هردوشن وجي ها سهودا ليش ديل دشا سهودا ارويل ها ديل دا اخش دقا ارويلس ها دنيا باخ من ارويلس هر دو شرعيات هر كلون كبو ارخيدو هر وي بلات كيو هر دقوي هو ستوش ليل ديل دا هو ستوش ليل شدو الخيتشون ها هو ستوش ليل ديل ليل خارتوس ويغلاتل ديل خارتو يوي وين دي ياشيك وين دي عينك يو ياتل يازيش مصرن يلغيت تغوچوا يلغيت تغو подтвердитенш وين دي ياش خارتو يو يات Или солар дават стиш, или суквартен декват стиш. Ваца лезеш, дел деш язи, дюхош. Харцу юен да яши. Юбо муахидка. Дел да юк сунгушет харцу ю. Таки харцуан дуал Allah ва дахват бой век багдек дис бой. Бохи, бох. Sunde suat suluq kharço gagosh amina giri khana wa busul bishu sunde ayash kharço yu sato dosh ala khati abdal mabo kharço yash ydosh ali yakuk day ydosh ali ugur gazik hadak ju umayyiz bokh kharço sunta yesq kharço da sunta yesq ha iz asyuq erduuk Dik sagiyechna in dater is просто от своего кан dik цагул бохис. Хош бол жар бохон. С два шрона сош себя. Амин. Allah rezil olsun. Надо да يجري وجري. Stader du meger du akhiyatsu gahchu. دي تسوي قشوا كفرك شو شوا بلا تاع خلا كفرك ولا دونس هيا زين شو يجي درق دقوط قميل اش خاطر دلا شو خاطر جنسين جواب لردوي داير زلي داتسا وير داير زوق طانين بلنتي وغير شورسو سكوري قيقش دقوخل حلقو يوق تعجم فوتبول كتابي تعجم مقشول ولا شيل هواء وتعجم متوالي ليمون ما قول تعجم دولين واعي اخوي Yo, сажим чусады нервен. Амицич. Yo, что вожу шуксу, короче. Алхамдулилlah. Вот такие дела. Да, я стараюсь записи делать, да, но иногда не получается. Ну, я по большому счету записываю просто. Чуях, лучше где. Sürekli çalalıq xarç oldu. Üçün də efiri və oxşuşuyor. Просто dadıldı çəntir. Просто dadıldı gaz qıyqa pürkşüşün ir dadılı efiri və oxşuşuyor. Allah dal sisa zlošenite jajtuilšun. Allah dal ashtoqoman tih meldinak šein čudajtuilšun. Allahumma amin. Allah dal ashtoqoman tih meldin dolum. Sa'šun disatsa düş. Şadig šein tijajtuilšun. Allahumma amin. Allah dal sa'šun daga dost Чена, отец дохился. Аллахумма амин. Да. И Бог пошел. И Бог пошел. Айдал ты дах мяцумай. Уже бали велоса тебя кузя. Хай, траинца подозрительно лишь будешь долго, короче, субханаллах. Бог. Так, Бог. А, Бог. Бац, все, набор. Ну да, это чересчур движение шарится, но пока, короче. Аш бош. Ну, чем баливал, хуара, короче, дасыцерду, ну, дасыцерла, хуар, да чувалерду кой, да чувалиш, со чували, да вегешься. Ну, то бусул биш, да ец Бог, хидом дат, нету больше ничего. Хидом дат. Вейк далуше, гидух. عليه مطعم شنو اشتا اتسو كز مخربو 42 минут, субханаллах, вы уже что 42 минут, Аллаху акбар. Мطعم شنو, да, субханаллах. Так, не понял, подожди. Там просто так не пойдут из-за того, что высказываешь протест. Главное не нарушать. Ну да. Здравствуйте.
С вами поговорить про
Амину.
Да.
Мы в прямом эфире. Мы в прямом эфире. Можем говорить? Ну если хотите, я лицо не покажу и все.
Не, это не про прямой эфир, это про... Давайте не в прямом эфире.
Хорошо, подождите тогда.
Я подожду, да.
Не, подождите. Сейчас.
Здравствуйте.
Да.
Меня Маша зовут. Я представляю Russian Democratic Society, которая проводит здесь митинги время от времени.
Я слышал про вас, да.
Вот мы хотим завтра сюда прийти. Хотели, как я пришла просто вот как-то с вами поговорить, там, разделить, поддержать. Вот это все, может быть, вы у нас речь расскажете.
Нет проблем. Я могу рассказать, как с молчаливого согласия российских граждан уничтожили 300 тысяч чеченцев, 42 тысячи детей. Это вас устроит?
Да, прекрасно.
Нет проблем.
Спасибо.
Я очень толерантно отношусь ко всем национальностям, в том числе русским. У меня нет проблем абсолютно с национальностью, но те люди, которые имеют империалистический аппетит, которые шовинисты, которые хотят завтра прийти к власти, дальше уничтожать кавказских народов, этих людей я не приемлю. Хорошо. А те люди, которые действительно хотят демократическое государство создать, Россию, не знаю, наверное, эту федерацию надо будет убрать, какое-то название надо, Русь там, сделайте свое государство, оставьте нас в покое. Клянусь Аллахом, мы будем вам хорошие соседи. Мы вас будем поддерживать, мы будем сотрудничать. Но,
у
но
нас
подождите.
еще завтра придут
Хорошо.
коренные народы России.
Окей.
Скорее всего, я надеюсь.
Хорошо.
Потому что у них тоже есть группа. Скажите, пожалуйста, где вас зафоловить?
Зафоловьте Chechen Blogger in English в любом месте.
Чечен блогер в одно
Да.
слово, да? Отлично.
Не, по отдельности. Chechen Blogger in English. Я это в Ютубе, в Инстаграме, Телеграме. Где еще? Подожди.
Чечен
Blogger in English.
Бакши вас зовут?
Да.
Очень приятно.
Абдул Малик Бакши.
Отлично. Все, тогда мы увидимся завтра.
Нет
Мы,
проблем.
скорее
Только
всего,
не думайте, что я какой-то подожди, как это? Нацик какой-то, знаете? Нет,
да,
я не
нет,
нацик.
конечно,
Абсолютно нет.
Я
Но
просто
мы
пришла,
должны,
да.
вот, например, смотри, вы хотите справедливость в своей стране.
Да.
Клянусь Аллахом, я хочу, чтобы у вас была справедливость, потому что если у вас будет справедливость, у нас будет справедливость.
Конечно, да.
Кто
Да.
хочет войну? Кто его начинал?
Вот мы с вами точно не хотим.
Мы
Да,
с вами
я
точно
думаю,
хотим,
что-
и я очень рад,
Я очень рада,
что мы понимаем.
Да, я очень рада, что мы с вами как-то можем общаться и поддерживать. Мы завтра будем
Нет
вместе,
проблем, мы
стоять.
будем вместе поговорим
Да.
в прямом эфире, все расскажем, как они убивали детей, мы расскажем. Нет проблем.
да,
И
продолжаем
это,
это делать,
эти люди, в первую очередь, этот террористический режим Путина уничтожает русский народ. В первую очередь. Так русские стали как быдлы. Так были же умные, развитые люди. Где они сейчас? Вот здесь, вот это мне нравится. Что здесь? Пускай самые умные, развитые люди из национальности русских сюда придут, поговорим, разберемся, договоримся.
Конечно,
Всё.
очень приятно.
Очень приятно.
Спасибо.
Всего доброго.
Да, увидимся завтра. Будем здесь около
Хорошо.
часу дня. Если
Часу
что,
дня, нет проблем.
Я на вас сейчас подписалась, я сейчас им скажу подписаться
Хорошо.
на вас, если вы хотите как-то там как-то высказаться, еще что-то, какой-то...
Нет, просто если я еще живым останусь до завтра, это одно, первое, потому что я больной человек.
Вам что-нибудь принести? Может
Не,
быть,
спасибо.
там,
Не,
лекарства?
ничего, не,
Всё,
спасибо.
точно,
Я
точно?
просто жду человека.
У вас всё есть?
Придет человек, я пойду в больницу. Пока не могу оставить все.
Хорошо, а вы ночуете здесь сегодня?
Я здесь всегда ночую, буду ночевать до 26-го, как минимум.
Держитесь, пожалуйста.
Как минимум. Я вышел не для того, чтобы там уставать.
Да.
Я вышел, ну, как сказать, свобода или смерть, и все. Хорошо.
Хорошо. Вот пусть у вас все будет хорошо, пусть вас тут это самое охраняет местная полиция. потому что это,
Нет
конечно,
проблем,
полиция
меня
какая-то.
охраняет мой Господь.
Да.
Но, полиция делает, как сказать
А с
это,
полицией
причину.
как? Ага.
Они помогают, причину,
помогают,
они
с вами
создают
хорошо
причину, да.
обращаются, да? Они
Конечно.
вам там не говорят ничего, да?
Ну, вроде бы нет, вроде не
Хорошо.
было ничего. То есть, потому что я, смотри, я на эмоциях говорю,
Да.
я думаю, сегодняшний день я имею право
Имеете
один день говорить, ну, неделя, месяц. Да 300 тысяч из моего народа уничтожили. Я имею право говорить правду. Я нахожусь в свободной стране. Я свободный человек, гражданин оккупированной Чеченской республики Ичкерия, который проживает в Великобритании. В свободной стране.
Спасибо вам большое
Все,
за
спасибо.
вашу
Я
работу.
извиняюсь за свой этот формат. Честное слово, если бы вы знали, что у меня вот здесь творится, то вы поняли бы. Но вы, я думаю, вы поймете, у вас есть человечность, и я это чувствую от вас.
Спасибо большое.
Хорошо, всего доброго.
Увидимся, всего доброго.
Хорошо, до
Удачи,
свидания.
счастливо.
До свидания. Вот такие дела. Демократия, бубох, кажется, кан хабор, бубох, адуил боху. خش دري قمع وقت بيحنش خش مدر دري Не, нарушать мы ничего не собираемся, потому что мы не из тех, которые нарушают. Нарушает это именно это путиноиды это нарушают. Мы не нарушаем. Мы как раз таки недовольны этим нарушением человеческих прав. Мы не можем, мы Волцин, да, муадер хаарар бит, цахасун, васума бит. Окей, хездик духар, ты яхна дик духуна, чуар элаб. Alhamdulillah. Ja, levdalarin så. Levdalarin zwawan i Putin daur waron. Dela work. Dela matsaon сумел слабую, дел да матsaon subhanallah. Матса что он сумел слабую. Просто я презираю ложь, обман, лицемерие. Я презираю преступление. Мне надоел этот произвол. Вот и все. Больше ничего. Вот. Вот это наш дом. Да, я хочу умереть. Столько, сколько вы хотите жить. Почему? Потому что я хочу умереть, говоря правду. На справедливой пути. На пути, который Всевышний Всевышний доволен. А как Всевышний доволен? Всевышний доволен, когда мы говорим правду. И все. Ва алейкум ассалам ва рахматуллах. Марш войло. Мусул бош. Вот я все сажим то сош. Ишь, талятер духой 20 тагу, 200 хиру, 2000 хиру. Вежи, Allah resolution, so way подержать беш буй, Allah resolution. Шуду адушун, сан не дуай дачу, садя сама дачу. Мне просто нажал. Фу, ай, шей Аллах иду агенди дол, что ситуиту, а я мне просто плевать на это ложь, обман, лицемерие, на этих террористов. Мне просто плевал на них. Мы их не боимся. Мы боимся Всевышнего Аллаха за то, что Он спросит. Почему мы молчали, когда мы обязаны были говорить правду? Почему мы были трусами, когда мы должны были иметь мужество говорить правду? Почему мы молчали, когда мы обязаны были защитить свою сестру? Вот чего я боюсь. Я да отсюда, а? Истодал муиру ишт. تبل مو عيردو ديان لايك واتوتباش ريبوست ياتباش دوشا لا تباش حاول نوخي ناوص دعوة تاتباش شينا دوش خيتي شو نشري لوش ديك موتسول داور دويش موتسول مستق ويش وتربيخ بوش وي مرش دول باع تقاروالش ازر تقاروالش باع ازر تقاروالش يوروبيا ويوروبيا سن برجوت ناقصانا متعيات Забережем талец латош бу. Европе 100 тысяч тагарца долой, 100 тысяч тагар вала горду хайшун. А Европ цяцяхан егорю. Уйгук методу акурду. Цадолшу шу были бусты. Цадолшу шун. Шу их дел. О дунян чуашаш вечно леттер душен метел. Freedom for Ukraine, freedom for Chechnya. Stop Russian terror. Hoş khir sabalit always. وين ساقيهم ديوت ما شو hoş khir sabalit. Or duak hoş. Короче. Не что ждок да. Ты. Alhamdulillah. Два гет дел да ел, вежи ежи, два гет ар biz действуй, ар biz действуй координа. Координа каждый так же умный читаешь. Шашач о ухич. Шей подписчик ши, шей лайк ши дон. Үш халгая хоуши, лелүш. Оқул харсато бей. Хойна хого чукваснак чуца куш. هو چه قویست که اون ریپوستیش هر وقت توب نه وی وش توب نه وی باش وی قصد دیش یحتاجی چون شینا دیل دو علیش بول نخ دوان خیلی شوی وی اتول دوان دو خد وی قصدن وی برد سغلر باندوش دوشون وی هلک دیش وی دخ دلر O Европа болчансын, Yozluğum, çerçerine yüti ötül çoğdu, alıl. Otsul Yozlu yoksa Европа bol vejirsin. Vejri bu boğçarına yok Yozlu. Şey şey diyorsun, şey tak melaç, tak peyt boğçum, Yozlu'nun şer. Vatlı şer. Hava her elleri, hava her yazdiri, hava her diri, hava her sadiri boğç diyorsun. Bartsa kulü çuğa. Del de şel diyorsun, muğ tolan bak doğ. Be'to buyun liyel şu tolan muğ bak doğ. Ha? Del sabah vay tanbert derz. Şu tanbert derz abi şer şu tolam lurbat boşuz. Del doşluç. Ve derzi diş ve tanbert. Bağwan de nisi abiş. Tertani lakitin şi bart. İşte doş dizdezera to Kort yakış bu просто. Просто хатташ деш, я зеншин, луж декшен, цатоуш дек, веджио чуатан, иттак биваца, так биваца. Давайте, пишите, шин, недовольство шхал. Войду шун, войду. Все боятся, все стоят на стороне, войду, цундел вейк дицит. Кыш боч бешен, буасым, я имею в виду в общем. Духола беш кирабел, истабыл, аш бу.
Which flag is the green flag?
The green flag is Chechen Republic of Ichkeria. Chechen flag. Where are you from?
From England, but my
Ah.
wife's from Ukraine.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Chechen is in Russian Federation.
Yes, no, it's not Russian Federation. It's occupied by a terrorist Russian country. Why I call terrorist? What do you think?
No, I agree, but they say in Western media Chechen fight with Russia. Not
Well,
true.
that's the Chechen traitors. You know, every country you got traitors, yeah.
For money.
Not only just money, because some of them by force. Because if they don't go for fight for Russia, they take hostages, their families, rape them, torture them, and kill them.
See,
And
you
I apologize my emotions, yeah.
want
But
independent Chechen Republic.
of course, that's our freedom, independent Chechen Republic of Ichkeria flag. They killed 300,000 innocent people, 42,000 children. That's why I'm here. I want to talk. I want to stop that terrorist embassy. I want it gone from here.
Because
It's
it
no-
seems to me that the true Russian of Moscow, St. Petersburg, they don't fight. They send Chechen to fight and die, and they live in Moscow with champagne and everything.
Yes, absolutely right. I think you have good understanding.
Why is
but
it
not
when
all.
20 years ago there was war, Chechnya versus Russia?
Okay.
Why is it now Chechnya officially fight with Russia?
Okay. How long time do you have to talk to me? Let's have a talk. Have a seat, my friend.
Okay.
Let me introduce you to you. I am Abdul Malik. Please stay with me. Let's talk. Okay, у нас сейчас собеседник. One second. From this moment. Okay, no problem. We leave you like this. No problem. We are
My
like.
girlfriend, мне женщина понимаю русский, я нет.
Окей. Так, Вежи, теперь у нас будет диалог с англичанином. Так, one second. I really want to talk to you because I'm very emotional and this is maybe good time. Are you blogger? You want to go
No,
live?
no,
Yeah,
just
no
my
problem.
girlfriend.
Okay, for your
You
girlfriend.
can speak in Russian, she understands.
Russian.
My new friend.
Долой российским оккупантам. Свобода Чеченской Республики Ичкерии, свобода Украины. Свобода всем свободным людям. Всем людям, которые имеют человечность.
We talk about why Chechnya
Yeah, okay.
subjected
Let's
to
start.
Russia.
Let's start the conversation. Yeah.
Why they fight with
Okay.
Russia.
1994. Okay. No, from beginning. How long? You got half an hour time at least. Yeah. Please.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
worth it. It's worth it. Trust me. You're gonna be.
Okay.
People will listen. Many people
This
will
will
listen.
last half an hour.
Okay. At least half an hour.
Okay, we talk.
Okay. You can ask questions. I will tell the story. Yeah.
Okay.
In 1990, the Soviet Union has collapsed.
Collapse.
Yeah?
Yes.
When does since 400 years ago, Chechnya is fighting for our freedom. Caucasus is fighting. All Caucasian countries fighting for our freedom. Okay, we've been under occupation. 1944, 23rd of the February, the whole Chechen nation was deported to Siberia.
Yes.
Over 600,000 Chechens and Ingush people were killed in streets of Kazakhstan and Siberia at that time. So that was the first our time genocide by Russia committed against Chechen and Ingush nation.
Okay.
So after 13 years, they allowed us to come back. We returned, but all our houses was living other people, Russian people, different nationality people. We never even kicked them out. We were very tolerant with them. And I remember in our house, until I grown up, until they died, we had Russian people living in our house, in our next door house. Yeah, because we have 5-6 houses in one family, big family.
Yes. So what changed?
So since that time, since the return of the Siberia, it was still Soviet Union, ruthless time. They kept us under the Soviet, under the communist regime. So 1990s, the Soviet communist regime has collapsed. The communist regime has collapsed, and Chechnya declared its independence because it was in our blood. We were dreaming about this day.
In which year?
In 1991 or 1991, I believe it was. Yeah, and because Boris Yeltsin said, take the freedom as much as you can. So we did. Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, many countries declared their independence. So we did.
Yes.
Okay, we started building our country, starting building our currency, started building our economy, because we have also natural resources. Independent Republic of Ichkeria, we started to run our own sovereign state. Then when Boris Yeltsin, Gorbachev said before that, yeah. So Boris Yeltsin, when he came to power, when the Russian Federation was formed as a country, after the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria was declared and formed as an independent state. Russia even became an independent country after the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria. And it was 4th or 8th Chechnya, yeah? So not the last even, yeah? So when the Yeltsin came to power, he said, now, no, you are not a separate independent country. Chechnya is the territory of Russia. So he invaded Chechnya, called the operation installing constitution law of Russian Federation.
That's what 2000.
No, in 1994.
1994. Okay.
In 1994, Boris Yeltsin invaded Chechnya, called that war installing constitution law of Russian Federation. As similarly today they call in Ukraine denazification and demilitarization. So 2 years had a brutal war. They used to bomb the wipe off the Grozny, the wipe off the villages. They killed, within a year they killed over 100,000 innocent Chechen people. Then, with shame, Russia was defeated by Chechens, the small tiny country, only 1 million population. Okay,
Win the war.
we won the war. The whole world witnessed it, and it can be confirmed. So, then again, we started our diplomatic affairs with the rest of the world. We never even had a chance to fully stand up and build our own country. Then what happened a couple of years later? 1999, when the terrorist Putin was coming to power, what did he do? He exploded the whole buildings all over the Russia. Hexagon. I'm not going to go into details and far. He exploded the buildings all over Russia and blamed it to Chechen people. And then Russia invaded second time. What did they call the operation? They called it counter-terrorist operation. Again, similarly, as they call today to Ukrainian war, denazification, demilitarization. Then the second war, Russia started with the airstrike, 100 times worse than the first war. Killed another 200,000 people.
When?
From 1999 until today, they are killing our people. Okay, now, the interesting point, 2006 or 2008, I might make mistakes with the dates, I'm not very good, but that's not the point.
Okay.
The point is, we got defeated because we physically ran out of fighters. We physically ran out of the help because the world was witnessing how they were butchering us and never helped us what they helping even to Ukraine and what they supposed to help to Ukraine today. They should take lessons from Chechnya. So
This is strange because the West helped in Bosnia with Milosevic. They help now with Ukraine.
okay,
They didn't help Chechnya.
that question you should ask the Western countries. That's okay. Now carry on.
Because, well, West is not a charity.
It's
West
not.
acts in what is in its
Yeah,
own
but
best
what
interest.
happens if the Western doesn't, because they are powerful, what happens if they don't help where they deserve to be helped? The enemy comes to the doorstep of West. Is it
So
true
the
or not?
It's
Did they
true.
come? They did.
It's true.
Who was?
So-
Okay, Chechnya was it not? Is it not the West? It's actually Eastern Europe,
Could
but it's
be.
still part of
Could
Europe.
be. So the West failed to help
The West
Chechen
failed to help. The main reason I would suggest
oil
is
money.
I would
Good
say
relation.
still I would like to push it to religious because we are Muslim. Maybe that would have been the point. If it's not, I'm not blaming nothing and no one, but West
Maybe,
have failed.
maybe.
West have failed. They thought because listen. No.
Some Western people say
I'll tell you.
Putin is Christian.
One thing, because the Putin has portrayed us as a terrorist. Yes, that time, remember this, you cannot deny this. The Western countries was shaking hand with Putin because they believed it was the true democratic country. I'm not saying fully blaming to Western countries because they tried to build relations with Putin. But
Yes,
it didn't work.
because they wanted peace and energy and oil.
They wanted energy oil, yes, but there can be a million reasons, but we were still killing. They've still killed us.
And what about
Okay.
modern Chechnya? Tell me about this.
No, we have to come to why Chechens going to Ukraine or participating, or why
Yeah.
does it look like Chechens going to participate with Russia? But it's
Yes.
not true. It's absolutely lie.
It's a
This is what Russia shows. Yes, there will be numbers, which the TikTok warriors we call them.
What about that warlord?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The TikTok warriors. They are not warlords. They are cowards. They're traitors. They betrayed our country. They are the ones who carry on killing people for taking money from Putin.
He gets
Just to get pleased his master, they are killing and torturing and raping innocent Chechens.
the Chechen warlord gets cash from
Of course. And if someone dares to refuse, they take their families, their brothers, their sisters, they rape them. I'm just feeling very, very bad, and I think the ambulance will be coming soon if I carry on. But I'll try my
So
best still.
what about because I understand Russia
Yeah?
actually has more than 70 different republics
Yeah.
within Russia.
Yeah?
And so in the same way Latvia, Lithuania, Hungary broke free,
Yeah?
it's possible that within the 70 republics they will also break free of
I
Russia.
strongly believe in that.
But
that
the
is a
problem
have big chance.
The minerals, the resources are all in the non-Russian places, so they want to
Yeah.
keep them.
So wherever it is, it deserves to those people. So Russian people should build their Russian state. Tatars should have their separate state. Caucasus should be always as it was. Caucasus should be separate. Кавказ должен быть единым и отдельным от Российской Федерации. Нет места российским оккупантам на Кавказе, особенно в Чечне. Sorry, I said
I agree.
Caucasus should be separate. And even Kazakhstan, they're trying to get back the influence, and they have influence. So they're trying to occupy again. But it's not gonna happen. I believe
a lot
Russia
of
will
them-
break down.
It's possible.
I believe there's high chance.
What do you think about the role of NATO in the West? Good or bad?
It's not bad.
But it's not necessarily good in that, for example, America, they have strong arms companies. They like war. They want to sell
Yeah.
weapons and arms, and often they don't always help. They don't always help these countries that much. They just want to sell weapons and fight with the Russians. But sometimes it's not actually helping the real people of that region that much. No?
I would not really agree with that. I would not, maybe partially,
So you like the
but maybe
West?
partially.
You like-
I like the
America.
West.
You like
I
Western
don't. I have many things which I don't like America, but America has never killed one citizen of Chechnya. Yeah, America has not occupied my country. I would leave America to criticize to those who have been suffered by America. I don't know. Correct?
I agree.
Yeah? Why would I be enemy with America? Why do I want to declare the war to the whole world? Why? America never killed Chechens. British never killed Chechens.
Why Romania?
Romania is taking part with Russia because they are listening and believing Russia and trying to deport, extradite Amina Girikhanova to Russia.
Romania.
Because Russia requested extradition of Amina Girikhanova. Yes, and she's in prison over 6 months now, illegally kept in Romania. So that's why I'm standing here asking stop the illegal extradition to terrorist state Russia and free Amina Girikhanova. That's all. Ask me any question.
What about Georgia and Moldova?
Georgia at the moment, Ivanishvili or whatever he is,
He's
a traitor, is a pro-Russian prostitute. That's why I would call you, and I'm sorry for my language.
Is it all about money?
It is all about money and power. Yes. Any questions you ask?
What do you think about so the current war in Ukraine? So the current war in Ukraine, the West is giving more and more weapons to Ukraine. You think it's a good idea or bad idea?
Definitely, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm against the war. But who started the war? Tell me. Who started the war? Did Russia say? Did Putin say he is not invading? Did he say he is not invading Ukraine or no? He did?
No, he said he's invading.
No. At the beginning, what did he say? He said he's not invading.
Special.
No. Before the special operation, if you remember, when the talks began, he said he's not invading Ukraine.
Yeah, that's
but he did. Russian agreement is never even worse the paper written on, as great people used to say. So Russia said no, they will not start, they will not invade, but they did. It's not about just this it's not about 241 days ago started war. It's about 2014 who was Western influence that was Ukraine wanted to go to NATO.
West did nothing in 2014.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Russia invaded again. It's not started just 241 days ago. No, the war started 2014.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
So some people say here, brainwashed, pro-Russian idiots who don't understand the truth. They think, because Ukraine wanted to go to NATO, they tell you different so on stories. No, what about 2014?
But the West did nothing in 2014.
They didn't, but that's why they annexed the Crimea, Lugansk, Donetsk. That's why the Russia successfully taken over. But now West is helping, and what's happening? Russia is getting defeated.
Putin will lose, but Ukraine is different to Chechnya in many respects.
Well, of course it's different.
Chechnya is different culture, different people, different language, different religion. You were repressed, held in, enslaved.
And Ukraine was so. Remember Holodomor?
Ukraine is as well.
Yeah.
75%. Holodomor.
Yep.
They said communism is not about race, about club. Stalin
How many
tried
people
to
died in
destroy
Holodomor? How many people died?
Million.
2.9 million.
Stalin tried to wipe out all Ukrainian people. It's terrible.
That's
it's disgusting. The problem with Ukraine slightly is that it is true, there is a section of Ukrainian society, a minority, maybe 30%, who doesn't speak Ukrainian, speaks Russian, feels to some extent it like culturally similar, but Putin, by killing and murdering Ukrainian people, he has made it very, very clear what Russia's intention is. They want to destroy Ukraine. So now they say so-called Ukraine. They want to eliminate Ukraine from the world map, and this cannot be allowed to happen. I just hope, as a Western person, I hope Western leaders, their priority is the self-dependence of the people and the states living in that part of the world. That they want freedom for those people to live in peace and independently. And it worries me slightly that it does seem a little bit like America and NATO seem to want to keep fighting, and it means Ukrainians die all the time. And I don't like this. So I support you, I agree with you. I think the West should focus more on stopping Russia and getting freedom for those countries. And it worries me that the American arms companies sell rockets, sell everything, keep people, and I think they should stop Ukrainian people dying.
But I still think that by giving weapons, they're preventing dying high numbers of innocent Ukrainians, because those heroes who fighting today for Ukraine are saving Ukraine.
It's true.
Yeah?
It's true, and they've shown also the Ukrainian army is very good, very strong. The Russian army is weak. And so I think maybe in 20 years, I think it's possible Russia will break up.
If not before.
If not before, and the independent republics will have their freedom, which is good. And they can be peaceful and friends with the West. And that is my hope for the future, because Russia still acts like an empire, right?
Of course.
When they had the Soviet Union, the Georgians were the taxi drivers, the cleaners, the Polish were the engineers, the Ukrainians were the farmers, and they feel everybody should serve them and do what they want, despite the fact that those independent Republican people wanted freedom. And so Putin has the mentality of 150 years ago, like a Tsar. We should conquer people. But I don't think he will ever succeed, because the people, their heart, they do not want to be part of the Russian sphere of the world. Ultimately, it comes down to what people truly desire and what they want for their freedom. So I say it's a British person. The British Empire did very bad things, made many mistakes, bullies like a lot of the West. But of all the imperial powers, a lot of them actually, they don't hate the British like other empires did, and there's still some kind of peaceful relations. But Russia has a different mentality. They believe all the people around Russia should be their slaves. And people like the Chechens, Ukraine, are fighting for their independence. So freedom will come. Trust me.
Freedom will come. Look,
they will.
let me formulate. I got so many questions as well to ask you.
What about the Chechen warlord forces? Why do they fight with Russia? Just money, or no, they like fighting?
The top ones, they are obviously for the money, but the followers, they have no choice. If they don't go, they will be killed. Their families will be killed, not just they will be killed. So that is totally out of question. Chechnya is fully under occupation. So what would you not make the people do if your country is fully under occupation for 30 years, being killed every day and night? What would the people not do for that Tsar?
Exactly.
Yes? Agree?
Yes, agree.
We're talking about humans. Humans are simple people. They have no power. With the weapons, when they're coming in one go, they kill. How many was it? Matsul war tervinak. Sobrel one say, I'll get the answer. Mastag war terkazni tunak tanbüsen. Yazelochu. Just one night, they just executed innocent boys. How many was there? Maswarish. Tayaziochu sikh. What? Provocator, what? They saying some people think you provocator. I don't think so. I find it very, very interesting to talk to you. No, because they don't maybe understand. I'm telling you, sorry.
I spoke fully the people of...
What? Provocator, what? No, اشتغل ديش دور قميال اشتغل سو شيء ده قاعد سحال ديز ويدعول يرزقوا تا provocator خلاع ولا واتابوق ويبعدك دوق دعدو يشتكسون.
These people should understand that as a Western person, my priority is, I hope, the governments of
27.
America,
I hope
Western people, their priority should be the people of Chechnya and the people of Ukraine. That's what their priority. I think overall it is, but it slightly worries me that sometimes I feel the Western powers are more interested in profit, money, selling. That's all.
Honestly,
broadly speaking, I think the West is
even
the right
if they
approach.
are, who cares?
Britain has the right approach overall. But for example, I'm in London now, right? Boris Johnson takes the good, the correct approach with this war. But simultaneously, we were the country more than anyone that says to the Russian oligarch, You have enough money, come and live in Kensington, come and live in Mayfair.
Yeah, I know.
So
Double
there is
standards
some-
are there. I'm not saying no, of course.
But on balance,
But not in
I
general.
think the West has taken the correct approach to support Ukraine, support Chechnya, support the independent republic, and I think Russia will never succeed because you can only have an empire if people want to be part of it.
Yeah.
And the way the Russians behave is disgusting, and they should be defeated.
Okay, look, the people, especially the people who were conquered.
Where's this going? On the internet?
Yeah, it's YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, you'll be famous now.
I don't want to be famous.
You don't want to.
Tell me about Chechnya. You're Muslim.
We are Muslim, Sunni Muslim people. Very simple people, to be honest. But Russia has destroyed even like all the. They are successfully destroying the identity of Chechens because today's Chechens are becoming like worse than Russians. The Kadyrovids, we call them. So anyway, one question, because I have so many questions to ask you as well. You know, because some people who have been suffered from British Empire, they say, oh, these are the worst, these have done this, these have done that. Yes, we know the history. Yes, British did bad,
Yeah.
Russia did bad. All the empires used to do bad things, killing innocent people. But
Yeah.
who have reformed and who went backwards? That's what we are talking about. We're not talking about Britain is a paradise. This is Earth.
It's not a paradise,
No.
but you have to consider history. So the history of the world is the history of war and conquering, right? It's effectively the whole of history of mankind is either you are conquering power, an imperial power, or you're invaded by someone else, right? The British was a conquering power. They invaded, conquered other people, and that was wrong. But if you consider all of the conquering powers in history, the Romans, the Turkish, the Russian, the French, the Belgian, everything, you might argue that the British were the least bad of all
Okay.
of them, and to some extent is the only empire where today relations with the former subjects are actually better than they are like with the Commonwealth. It was bad and it was wrong, and Britain should never have done it, and imperialism is wrong, and Britain made many mistakes.
Do you
But
feel sorry for them?
Yeah.
Would you ask apologies to the people who still hating Britain for their crimes committed in the past? Truly,
Yes.
we're talking open,
Yes.
yeah, as a human being.
If it was to someone had a member of their family who suffered directly, yes, 100% I would apologize.
But you have remorse, haven't you?
Yeah.
For
and you
your
should.
country who
You
done.
should.
But Russia doesn't. That's what we are doing.
That's
That's what
probably
we're
the
talking
difference.
about.
That's
That's the
probably
difference.
the
Yes, that's the difference, my dear brothers and sisters, especially some Muslim brothers who hate British, not because, you know, like, because this is 21st century. Yes, we understand Iraq. Yes, we understand Afghanistan. Yes, we do understand it, and we condemn
Those
anything.
people are right to
But
hate Britain.
but in Britain, they change, they reform. After 4 years, they re-elect. You know, when someone does really bad thing, it can be taken off, isn't it? You know, but in Russia, how many years? 30 years running Putin's regime. So you see, that's the difference. Again,
Those people are right to hate Britain, particularly Pakistan, India. It was terrible what they did, and Britain should apologize, and those people are right to hate Britain.
but
Unquestionably.
not forever.
Maybe
look,
not forever,
okay.
because,
Look
for
how the
example-
Pakistan is living today, and Indians, they're living even better life than even British, English, whoever. So Jamaicans, same way. So it has to come to an end. Why I'm talking about the humanity should be united. No, it's enough. We can see clearly who wants to destroy the humanity. Today, openly threatening to the whole world is Russia, openly. So at least we're saying, unite and
To some extent,
fight with the enemy.
It's more the ideology of communism, which in principle is a good ideology. You know, we're all free and whatever, but it can only ever be implemented through force and totalitarianism, and that's half of the problem. I think that the Russians could only control through force.
Yeah.
A secret police, death squads, gulag, everything. That was the only way that they could do it. And ultimately, Russian culture is very specific. It's very different to Chechen culture, it's very different to Hungarian culture, it's very different to Georgian culture, very different to Polish culture. And so the oppression will never last. I believe that completely. Ukraine is an independent nation, independent people, and they are being suppressed by a country which has an arrogant mentality that all countries around them are inferior and should serve them. Britain had this mentality to some extent, but I believe we have learned and moved on. And also with the British Empire, when it ended, it was largely peaceful. Britain accepted they should move on and be free, and it was peaceful. Russia, the worst thing about Russia's never lost their arrogance and their belief that they should dominate other people through force.
Then there will be question, but still there is discrimination for Jamaicans and Pakistani people. Although this is not the subject we're talking about.
In Britain.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
It's true,
but
there is,
but not everywhere.
And that's wrong. But you could argue that it is less severe in Britain than any other country.
That's what I would come to
the
agree.
British Conservative Party, the embodiment of British establishment principles, is more racially diverse than any other political party in the West. So you could argue that actually if you come to as an immigrant, as a different skin or different religion, arguably Britain is as good a place as you could ever come to integrate. Actually, although there's problems, integration in Britain between races and religions is actually better than most other countries
of course,
in the world.
Very multicultural.
And people say, oh, British people are racist. Actually, I would say when you compare Britain with every other country in the world, I would say we are one of the least racist countries in the world.
I would honestly agree, accept that.
People. And part of that is because
tolerant.
British people accept we invaded other countries, and therefore, as a consequence, we should welcome those people back into our country. And actually, if you consider the rest of Europe, other parts of the world, religious fighting and other cultures, Britain has better race relations than most countries. Actually.
Honestly, that's how I see it, and that's why sometimes I don't understand to get very good people as well. I'm not saying they're bad. Jamaican, Pakistani, Indian, they are good people, but in their heart, they don't understand how even worse it could be, and how worse already in different countries.
You have to play what if history. So if what happened didn't happen, what else would happen? So for example, Britain colonized Africa, did many bad things, many terrible things, some good things, and people always think how terrible that was. But you have to say, if Britain didn't do that, what else might have happened? So now we see, for example, China
and Russia would have been
maybe
even
worse, would have been worse.
Worsely occupied Africa
Exactly.
and themselves. Honestly, this we can't even talk. Really, we should not even talk but anything could have been. As you said.
But the ultimate thing is luck and geography. So whether a country is wealthy or successful is not about. It's not like Britain has incredible talent or the water is amazing. It's about geography, okay? We are an island off the coast of Norway, the Netherlands, and France. We stopped fighting France 200 years ago. We stopped fighting Netherlands 200 years ago. We stopped fighting the Norwegians 800 years ago. We have no invaders, no predators. We have water around us. It's easy to be British. It's free, it's safe. If you have Germany on one side, Russia on the other side, land border, no sea, constant war, it's very difficult to be an independent republic. So countries like Chechnya, Poland is another one, it's very, very difficult to be successful because you're always worried about who will invade you. Like America. America's a great country. They say part of the reason America's a great country, why? Canada above, Mexico below, ocean on one side, ocean on the other side. It's easy. No natural predators, no natural threats. If you're trying to be Chechen, you can't really develop the iPod or a tech economy because you have to focus, first of all, on defending yourself against wars. So it's very sad, but the biggest factor in the world is geography. So the Chechen people have a very difficult difficult time with Russia so close.
One question. Look, 300,000 killed people. Yeah, third of our population. So do you accept now? Do you agree that Chechnya could never be with Russia with those who killed 300 of our population? So you see, why do you think?
It
What
seems
else do you
obvious
think?
to me.
It's obvious, and don't forget, another 300,000 fled. So whoever left there, they took as a hostages. And what they're doing, is it going to be difficult? Of course not. They took very easily to control of the rest people. And the best fighters, the best people of our nation have been killed, died in the battle, murdered, we call it, yeah? Because they're fighting for our own country. So of course it's easy for them to control women, old men, old women, or weak people.
Fundamentally, from my perspective, I believe in the self-determination of people. If you want to be free people, you should be free people.
Of
It's
course.
not my business as a British person to tell Chechens yesterday, if you want to be free people, you
Yeah.
should. And I just hope as a Western person that Britain acts in a way which helps and supports that. I think with Ukraine, I believe Britain is doing the right thing to help.
That's it.
I
Yeah.
just hope the motivation is that help the people of Ukraine to be free, help the people of Chechnya to be, and not be lots of money for the arms. Because when they say America is giving weapons to Ukraine, it's not true. They're not giving weapons to Ukraine. They are selling weapons to Ukraine. So I just hope, I
Yes.
think on balance, listen to
What?
the Western approach to the war, I think, is good. 70% I support. They're helping Ukraine, they're helping fighting against the invaders. I just hope that is the focus and not on money and profit.
Who's gonna make the weapons if they don't do business with the weapons? So by helping, you said they are making money. Yes, but that's their business. It's certain amount of part or certain amount of. It's not the full country.
Yeah.
Like for example, factories were making weapons. Obviously, they're gonna get something. How they're gonna reproduce if they don't
I agree.
have? They don't have some comebacks.
So where are the Chechen people? Have they lived in that region for many hundreds of years? Or
Yes, of course.
do you know the history? Because, for example, Georgia,
Yeah.
it's still a myth where the Georgian people came from. They moved maybe from Turkey, maybe from but what is the history
Georgian-
of Chechen? What is the history of Chechen people?
Chechen, and there is whether it's myths or whether it's the true. We believe it's the true. Chechens are one of the oldest nations on the territory of Caucasus, and Georgians are so, Dagestani are so, Ingush are so. There's 3, 4, 5 nations, but I believe before we used to be one because the culture, certain even some even languages, they're so similar.
Do you speak Arabic?
No. Arabic is so totally different. We are totally
What's your
different.
language?
Chechen there is nothing to. It's its own specific language.
Really?
Yeah, Chechen.
And when did you become part of Russian? 1917?
No, before 400 years ago.
Are you ethnically
400.
similar to Tatar or different?
No.
Completely
No.
European?
Okay, you have a Caucasian race, yeah. So we call, but Caucasian you call white people, yeah. But we call Caucasian is the mountain people, Caucasus. That is where origin. And there is also saying that we are people of Noah. The Noah's Ark is stopped in mountain of Ararat. So that's next to us, Armenia. Between Armenia and the other side, I'm not
Do
sure.
you have links to Dagestan and
Yeah, it's just
Kyrgyzstan?
no Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan is totally away. Dagestan is just next door.
So you already, if we had independent Chechen Republic, you know what the borders.
It's very difficult for us because surrounded Russia. We have one access to Georgia, and through Georgia to Turkey and to Europe.
Do you have a coastline?
No.
Black Sea?
No, we have in the other sides, but occupied by Russia, other Caucasus republics. That's why we need Caucasus separated from Russia, as it's supposed to be, as it was, and so we can open to the whole world to trade.
And how many people? How many million people?
Well, no, Chechen is 1.4. They say. I don't believe even 1.4. I think 1.2 probably.
Do you have a diaspora? Many Chechens living in other countries?
In Europe, majority in
Germany
Europe,
or-
just over 300,000. So, and we are the ones who, amongst us, are the ones who can talk or who can do some kind of resistance with speaking, blogging, doing some actions like. Or now we are making groups fighting military groups in Ukraine. So real Chechens are fighting with the Ukrainians against Russia in Ukraine. Battalion Sheikh Mansour was formed since 2014. Battalion Jahar Dudayev was formed since 2014. So those two very well-known, popular, famous battalions with very good fighters, good warriors with experience from the first and second Russian-Chechen wars. So they are in Ukraine. And if I had my documents, I was supposed to go and at least help because I'm not physically strong because I'm ill. Why I'm ill is a long story. So at least I wanted to go there, but I don't have my documents still because I don't think it's the best idea to talk now live, yeah? Because a lot of things went wrong in my life. I was portrayed as a criminal, but I'm not a criminal, and I can't stand the criminals. And I love this country. Yes, I do, and I'm proud of that.
Criminals are in there.
Criminals in there, yes. Criminals over there. Let's show. Criminals are. Let me show the flag. Look, zoom in. That flag is the criminals, people. Okay, my friend. If you want, you can say your name. I told you my name, but I think you are still brave, man. 1 second.
My name is Friend of Chechnya. I like Chechen people.
Friend of Chechnya. Well done. You see, friend of Chechnya shaking hand with Chechen.
Slava Ukraine.
Slava Ukraine, Slava Chechnya, Slava Chechenska Republika Ichkeria. So I think we had good.
I enjoyed it.
Honestly, I enjoyed
think
it as well.
my mentality, you have to understand, comes from being British.
Yeah.
So we were previously a colonizing power,
Yeah,
right? But I feel there's many wrongs with that. But I feel we have understood the mistakes of the past and
Yeah.
we have tried to reconcile. And actually, most of the countries that used to be occupied by the British actually have quite good, fair relations. And I think that's a good thing. So that's where my mentality comes from when I say I hope that the motivation of Britain and the West is to help Ukraine. First fundament, not money and profit and all that kind of stuff. But I think Britain is doing a good thing in Ukraine.
I think so.
Broadly speaking.
And I believe and I hope that Britain will help to deoccupy Ichkeria, exactly as they're helping Ukraine. And the whole world will support us to deoccupy our country from illegal criminal occupants and terrorists. My biggest problem is my emotions. But why? Because I'm remembering all the crimes what they committed against our
I
people.
understand, of course.
So I apologize if I.
It's you
made
are
mistakes.
arguing for your family and your people.
And I'm in terrible pain right now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not well. I'm not well, seriously. It's a different conversation. Again, I don't want to talk.
You live in that?
I'm living in there until 26th or until I die. Yeah.
Nice to speak
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Wish
Have a
you the
nice
best.
evening. Enjoy your day. Respect.
Bye-bye.
Big respect to you. هون دول قميال وي دعديلي الحمد لله ديك خزقية تنبوش قميال دي وي هينسا شو كمي داير شوية شوري وي بجري اوف ويا شو عبرش Virbavat, Abdulmalik, Virbavat, bijājuš, bo. Vēl tā Virbavat bācījuši, ķergā atmal goksun, tu valāja goko, nāja gā atmal gokoin. Dāhuān jau biju khumšu, rasīs šo. Valāja hoq nāja duān hoq. Rasīs āgor khul niswil cigā, vieš. Khīt torgātsun, dāja zinā duī canā. Khīt tak tēqēt yittin duān. Kiek golvas. Yitnirsun, no yitnir alla ido ta qiyetem boç, ta do sanatçı şu. Başın masramış galıyormuş. Ama hok paçaqat. Tay taşo tay şu xan yok soğuyor şu kuza. Qabal şu mu şu tu tolerant bu qoş admal du qarga. Hay din yıl doyt ve hay parat waxa waqo to taqibu al diye zuway. Tani maslahat da hoysi qoytir. Pakistanşsi, Induşsi, Jamaikanşsi yol yukmetik hagayaş. خيط شوية من الورد تغاسون إتي ماي تيوي مصو كيبر هم شديد تقوى وين غودي اللي وي أوكراني المدر وين أخذ ديز ديو كبير وتياز إيش دقمي على دقوة ديك ديالوج خليتني الحمد لله قال ويدان خليت ويقز دي هندا تمنيني يقز غرتش الحاوين خيرات سقوي شمنيني بول نسوش دي قاعدك عادي تقصو Вот это я уважаю таких людей. Алхамдулилlah. Мил Аллах. Респект Бог хочет. Короче. Что-то везет, его кадилось лазашкау. Вот, говорит, яхш, яхш. Час 40 духое эфирядо. Veđerin zlamaš da dilzin suže da derzu diz matsuna. Šo masana Allah rizalil gladuyor çarna, gladur dol çarna. Süeger her emosiyaşna, süeger lel dol leder deşnaşna. Tauman galaçına süeger del dolmana lella. Allah ediyor şok indir dolar diyor koy. Allah dal bakwan da niswan da Allah ta eto boyl way. Allah dal bakwan da niswan da çağ doyl way. الله دال ويقام مرشي دقن موكش مرش وياريانس ملبش صدير دولوي الله دال مرش ونع داخل خليت ويلوي نخشي قومون وي بوصل كوكاس قام نشي مسو بوصل بنا امين يا الله الله دال بيقم بويل اوتوي موسلشن غاسقي شيت بچال بوتيني شيت بوتيني بچال الله دال اتشيد بوتين انت عاقيتين ويقام سيسس داش بولشارنا قيال ويلتان اللهم آمين مشتا والحمد لله رب العالمين قد يصدقوا ديك دو قدي عدايو أسر دا مسو مارشا عيل حدك ويل والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته الله سيلا